Welcome back, and this is News Now, still in our studios right here in Lagos, Nigeria. The Federal Capital Territory High Court has stopped the Central Bank of Nigeria from extending the use of the old Naira notes, as earlier stated. The High Court gave the order on Monday in a suit involving President Buhari and several banks as defendants. The High Court Judge Eleoje Enenche ordered the CBN not to extend the deadline, but pending the determination of the suit. The court held that an order of interim injunction is hereby made, restraining the defendant, whether by themselves, staff agents, officers, interfacing banks, or whosoever, not to extend, stop, extend, vary, or interfere with the extant determination date of use of the old 200 Naira, 500 Naira, and 1000 Naira banknote being the 10th day of February 2023, pending the hearing and determination of the motion on notice. Governor Abdullahi Ganduje of Kano State on Tuesday raised alarm that the persons behind the annulment of the June 12, 1993 presidential election are regrouping and dangerously masquerading in the prevailing crisis generated by the Naira policy of the Central Bank of Nigeria to scupper the nation's hard-earned democracy. According to him, the latest attempt at that was camouflaging in unknown political parties through the use of legal instruments to further impose on unfeasible cash policy, taking its toll on Nigerian masses. Ganduje was reacting to an interim injunction issued by Justice Eleoje Enenche of a High Court of Federal Capital Territory in Abuja, stopping the Central Bank of Nigeria from extending the 10-day deadline set for currency swap. He alleged that political parties were also alluding with the People's Democratic Parties to execute the evil scheme. The Kano State Commissioner for Information, Malam Muhammadu, in a statement quoted the governor as berating the open support for the policy by the PDP and its presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar. It said the open support also laid bare the grand complicity between the opposition of the CBN to deliberately thwart the nation's hard-earned democracy by imposing harsh economics policy calculated to weaken the masses. The presidential candidate of the Action Democratic Party, Yabaji Sani, has said enemies of Nigerians are behind the introduction of the Naira redesign. Faulting the policy of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Sani said the policy was done by those against the democratic structure of the country. He further stated that the policy was introduced so that the 2023 elections will not hold. Sani added that the Apex Bank should have properly disbursed money to commercial banks across the country before coming with the policy. He, however, stated that the currency redesign is not peculiar to Nigeria, adding that the policy comes with some pains that has benefits in the long term. The World Bank Country Office in Nigeria has disclosed that the incessant fuel scarcity and the inability of Nigerians to access the new Naira notes may influence uncertainty ahead of the February 25th and March 10th elections in the country. According to a document, the bank pointed out the deadline for old notes will socially and economically affect vulnerable people in the country. After the initial January 31st deadline, the CBN, after reportedly seeking the approval of President Muhammadu Buhari, had extended the deadline for the currency swap to February 10th. But it appears the extension has not changed anything for the better, as millions of Nigerians would not access the new 1,000, 500, 200 notes even while the lower denominations of 100 Naira and 50 Naira that have not been altered are not available. While politicians have continued to trade blames, the CBN accusing commercial banks of holding the new notes, Nigerians in many states have run out of patience and have started protesting the shortage of the Naira. Benue State Governor Samuel Ortam, his deputy Benson Abonu, commissioners, aides and the local government chairman of the states were absent at the campaign rally of the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Benue is being controlled by PDP with the national chairman of the party, Senator Eleoje Enenche, hailing from the state. Leading the campaign rally for Atiku in the state are former governor of the state, Senator Gabriel Suswam, former president of the Senate, David Mark, and three senators representing zones A, B, C, Suswam, Oka, Jeff, and Abba Moro were in attendance. However, the party governorship candidate of his deputy, Titus Uba and John Ngbede, and some state working committee members attended the rally. Speaking at the rally, IU appealed to Governor Ortam, who had not shown support for Atiku, to join hands with the party to be able to rescue the country. Atiku, while speaking with the crowd at the rally, promised to ensure the crisis between the people of the state and Fulani herders would be resolved if elected into office. The Supreme Court had recognized Senate President Ahmed Lawal as the authentic candidate of the All Progressive Congress for Yobe North Senatorial District, sacking Bashir Mashina, early recognized by the Federal High Court in Damaturu and Court of Appeal in Abuja. In the lead judgment, Justice Sentius Nziwe faulted the approach of Bashir Mashina in commencing the suit of the Federal High Court Damaturu Division through originating summons and without oral evidence to prove allegations of fraud. The Federal High Court sitting in Damaturu had ordered the APC and the Independent National Electoral Commission to recognize Mashina as the senatorial candidate for Yobe North. Delivering the judgment, Justice Fadimatu Aminu directed the APC to submit Mashina's name to the INEC as the rightful winner of the party's May 28 primary elections in the district. A three-day member panel led by Justice Monica Damba Menso of the Court of Appeal in Abuja also held the ruling and affirmed the nomination of Mashina as the authentic candidate of the APC for the senatorial district. The appellate court observed that the APC argued its case and that the Senate President Ahmed Lawal in its brief but failed to make him a co-appellant instead of being the second correspondent. Although the Senate President did not take part in the Yobe North senatorial primary, the party had sent his name to INEC as its candidate, for INEC refused to recognize him.